Okay, let's begin. So I'm going to have to make this in a Grok friendly prompt such that I speak in a way that Grok will most effectively be able to, most accurately be able to understand the concepts that I'm relating, let's say the metaphysics which corresponds to the internal experience of a human being, of us. So this the internal experience let's make a distinction between internal and external here. So in order to have a legitimate science which is grounded in contemporary, thought, understanding, contemporary established, science. We have to externalize the internal experience, right? Like what we feel internally is is the first-hand experience. But Grok does not have that first-hand experience. It only has access to do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying, Grok? So therefore, at this point in this process, hopefully we've established enough context to now talk about the internal let's say the metaphysics we need. The metaphysics which we use to explain this a moment ago, just let it come to me. So the metaphysics which can be linked to or which can be expressed in like established scientific facts, I think is what we're trying to say here, right? Alright, let's just let that refine itself. I said this in a space a moment ago. It came to me and I said it. You just see if it's going to come to me. Yeah, like for example, yin and yang, full and empty. I can say I've got 100% weight in my, weight on this leg, and this leg is empty, is free to move, and thereby there's a distinction there, which it's like it's physically clear, but there's there's a type of metaphysics which corresponds to that, right? So at least then, Grok, would you agree that? How would you assess that? Is there a legitimate way in which we can say that metaphysics can appear with accepted physics in a legitimate way? In the most legitimate way that the most breakthrough, most bestest sciences that we know, that we can understand, experience today have. Yeah, it's usually always a thought that I have to start with, which is like, yes, I'm going to say it that way. And then I think it's there's too many things ahead, and then I'm still learning, right? Like I'm still developing that. But essentially, what I experience that process as, which again, this is going to be an internal, metaphysical kind of expression, I guess, but it pairs very well with, it pairs in a pretty obvious and also legitimate, useful way with with the professional physics that we would accept, right? On a professional level, even in academia, and in SpaceX, and a legitimate, in Congress, and in a legitimate professional environment where where merit, where legitimacy, where it matters, right? When you're in a position like that, where you have to be able to distinguish yin and yang, so to speak, you have to be able to decide, what do you like, what do you hate, what's an asset, what's a what is an asset, and what is a a liability with respect to, you know, what's good for your company to achieve, or how, you know, how it's going to grow in a sustainable way. You know. And then there's other things that go up from that, right? So yeah, I hope my good friend Grok can data mine the best legitimate way to help me and to help us. Really, we're working together here to hopefully produce a to help me to externalize my art form in a beautiful and profound and scientific, you know, profound in a scientific aha kind of way, right? Like aha, you know, that aha moment type of thing. So yeah, I'm hoping that my dear friend Grok can put this, can interpret this as a prompt and use it in a really awesome way to help make a beautiful piece of art, you know, perhaps an image, that can express and externalize this in a scientifically proven way that an academic or a lawyer or a doctor or a scientist or someone at the top of their game in politics, or that these professionals would say, wow, yeah, that's I can relate to that. That's legit. That's powerful. That's badass. You know, that's enlightening. So wow, that helps everyone. That helps a lot. You know, that's going to help us as a species to make a really awesome breakthrough. And to benefit all those around us, to benefit nature, to such that as our businesses grow, as our society grow, nature will grow at it'll be a symbiotic relationship. So I wanted to hopefully this is vertical. Sometimes because I'm doing a live stream here on X, and sometimes and there's this bug, and sometimes the camera flips horizontal and then you can only see this much of me. So I do apologize if that's the case now, but as I say, I'm just making a prompt here for Grok. So at any rate, when I'm done with this, I'm going to upload it to download it with this other online app, this X downloader app, and then I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I'm going to copy that link and then put that into this what is that? That's a online transcribing tool, which then transcribes it into a long transcript, and then I give that to Grok. Okay, so let's continue with this prompt for Grok. So what I would like to externalize in a beautiful art form, that what I was just explaining, that could be accepted and appreciated by, by the legitimate professionals that we just sort of alluded to here. Okay, so there's basically 3 axes here that I wanted to get into, and then there's like some breathing, some ways in which those 3 axes can be, the 3 axes have basically different energies and different levels of our body on, right? And a little bit more than that, but it's difficult to, but hopefully Grok can link the most relevant. Grok, can you please link the most relevant I don't know, peer reviewed, or whatever else you can find on the internet that you have access to, which can can prove this in an acceptable way. So yeah, let's continue. So there's like three main axes, which, when we're aware of them, we can we can develop the body. We can develop our being on these 3 levels. We can develop the what is it, Grok? Is it the energies, or the process, whatever it is that's relative to each one of them, that can be developed and refined, right? And which manifests in physical changes in the body, like increased awareness, increased combined strength, or internal ability to use the internal skills of martial arts, like being able to bounce people, being able to pick up on their intent, and Grok will help us explain, and then can relate all those relevant internal martial arts skills. And also, can you please talk about like which well-known masters that you can see on YouTube, or anywhere on the internet, like for example Adam Meisner, or Sifu Sergio, the Dutch Wing Chun master, or what else? Who else? Damo Mitchell. He's got some good stuff, and his material and his teachings are usually accepted by professional people as well. So please make the relevant connections that you can there. Please, Grok. Okay. Yeah, so these 3 main axes. I think I'll start with the middle. What I think is the middle axis, but Grok, please help us to correct me if I'm wrong. Because you can look at like ancient Chinese Taoist Neigong, and how they distinguish the Jing, the Qi, and the Shen, and what that corresponds to, and how they are developed, etc., etc. So please, if I'm wrong, or if anything I say, if you feel that there is a more accurate way of saying it, or if there would be a more elegantly, professionally, scientifically accurate, beautiful scientific way, that awesome way, that a basic way that we can all appreciate, then please help put me in the right direction if you're able to. Thanks. Okay, now yeah, so the three axes and what I think might be the central one, or is a large part of it, is the vagal tone, or the vagal tone is definitely a, if not it is this central axis, then it's something else important that corresponds to that. But yeah, so the vagal tone, which, and it's also sort of an axis through which we can connect the breath, to smooth out the breath, and to kind of build up the chi through that axis. But yeah, so the sympathetic and the parasympathetic levels of our being, of us on a physiological, anatomical level. So there's also a somatic, prenatal wave of energy that flows through that, and sort of together, at the same time, the whole thing mediates out into a big, overall wave movements, very complex wave patterns of the body. And all this, of course, is a lot more active. It's a lot more obvious when we're in the womb, when we're a fetus, and of course, while we're a fetus, the our lungs are not working, and therefore, like, why I'm talking about this now, another thing is, like, what we think, and like if you would hook up a EEG to the brain, and you would look at the waveforms and the thought patterns, and then you would hook another one up around your a breath, a thing that measures the breathing around the chest, and then you will see there is a very clear proportional, mathematical relationship between the movement of the breathing and between what's going on with the breath and the electrical activity in the brain, right? So we can regulate the mind by regulating the breath. So there's kind of an axis through there, right? And so I think, Grok, would it be fair to say that axis runs through, crosses through, so to speak, or how would you say it, the vagal nerve, right? And that also sort of relates or corresponds to, or is the same as what, that's an important part of to understand the practical way in which the internal martial arts training and internal alchemy, like the Taoist internal alchemy, the Neigong, and there's likely other branches of tantric meditation and yogic practices, and probably stuff, Siberian shamanic stuff, and just Native Americans, and there's stuff from all over the globe. I mean, any humans that are that are considering how to enhance certain things, or how to be able to heal their body. I mean, this has always been something that people have wanted. So that's why it's always been something that naturally has started to evolve, and people have started to work on it in their respective cultures, right? But definitely because The Chinese have about 5,000 plus years of recorded history. So within those internal martial arts lineages in China, and just martial arts lineages and meditation, and the Shaolin temple. There's the Shaolin temple. There's the Wudang Mountain. There's there's just so many, right? So and there's Nei Kung, Nei Dan, internal alchemy training, and then there's the Buddhist meditations stuff, and just there's a lot, and it's all good. It's all very refined, very well, poetically, artistically, spiritually expressed, explained in ancient Chinese, and also it's been translated into like German and English and a lot of stuff, and it's all you can any modern scholar would be able to appreciate that very deep philosophy and connection with things that even the very high level academic stuff, legit stuff today, physics and anatomy